Welcome to today's explainer. Look, we're skipping all the get-rich-quick fluff and impossible promises today. Instead, we're diving straight into a structured, professional, and completely hype-free breakdown of how to build a real passive income stream. Today, we're looking at a highly specific, incredibly effective blueprint: creating and selling AI-generated ebooks.
Let me give you the absolute bottom line right out of the gate. When you publish an ebook on the right platform and price it at $9.99, you earn roughly $7 in pure profit for every single sale. Think about that. You create the asset once, and that $7 just drops into your account over and over again while you sleep. And honestly, the tools we have today make this process faster and more accessible than literally ever before.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to follow a highly practical step-by-step roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with 1, the foundation, move into 2, the direct blueprint, then 3, the pricing bracket, and finally wrap up with 4, realistic income expectations.
Let's jump into section 1, the foundation, and look at exactly why ebooks continue to reign supreme.
It is so easy to look at YouTube and TikTok and think, wow, video is the only way forward. But actually, millions of people still vastly prefer reading. They want structured information they can consume at their own pace. And for you, as the creator, ebooks have massive advantages over something like a demanding video course. They are incredibly fast to create, especially now with AI assistance. They're practically free to produce. You don't need a microphone, you don't need expensive editing software, and you definitely don't need a fancy studio. You just upload them once and they distribute globally. It is the absolute definition of completely passive income potential.
Moving right along to section 2, the direct blueprint. This is our core execution phase, from a simple idea to a published product.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact sequence we need to follow. 4 key steps. Notice how we're treating AI here. AI is your collaborator. It's a tool for the heavy lifting, not some magic button you push to print money. It accelerates the process, but your human direction is what actually creates the value.
Step 1 is where so many beginners completely miss the mark, so pay close attention here. You absolutely must validate your niche first. Before you type a single word, you need proof of demand. Because if you write a book nobody is searching for, it doesn't matter how amazing it is. You find this demand by looking at what people are already paying for. Go search the Amazon bestsellers list for your topic. Dive into Reddit and Quora. What specific questions are people constantly asking? That right there, that is your content map.
This brings us to steps 2 and 3, the execution phase. You can use tools like Claude or ChatGPT to generate your chapter-by-chapter outlines in, maybe 5 minutes? You can even have them generate your initial drafts. But you absolutely must step in and edit. You've got to fix anything that sounds robotic, add your own specific examples, and really ensure a natural human tone. The creators who are winning right now aren't just copy-pasting. They're taking AI's speed and layering their own human judgment right on top of it. That is the skill that gets paid.
Next up is the practical reality of putting the book together. Please don't overcomplicate this. Google Docs or Microsoft Word work perfectly fine, but the formatting has to be clean. Use crystal clear headings, keep those paragraphs short, and leave plenty of white space so your reader's eyes don't get tired. Once it looks professional, just export it as a PDF for direct sales or a Word doc for Amazon. Simple as that.
So the crucial point is your presentation. You've got this great, finished manuscript, but literally nobody's going to read it if they don't click on it in the first place. Your cover is the single most important factor for getting that click. You can use a tool like Canva. They have incredible templates to design a bold, professional cover. Keep it simple and make sure the title is extremely easy to read, even when it's shrunk all the way down to a tiny thumbnail on someone's smartphone screen.
Okay, let's shift gears to section 3, the pricing bracket. Let's talk strategy and how to maximize those royalties while avoiding the classic beginner traps.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how precise the math behind pricing actually is. It is definitely not a guessing game. Your price needs to align with perceived value, which is usually tied to page count. A quick 20 to 40 page guide, that sits comfortably at $2.99 to $4.99. But as you build out to 50 or 80 pages, you enter that really lucrative $4.99 to $9.99 tier. And if you're writing a massive, comprehensive manual over 150 pages, you can confidently charge $14.99 or more.
But wait, there is the absolutely critical rule you have to know if you're using Amazon KDP. If you want to earn their highest 70% royalty rate, you must price your books strictly between $2.99 and $9.99.
A massive beginner mistake is pricing a great book at, say, $10.99. Doing that instantly drops your royalty rate off of a cliff, all the way down to 35%. You literally end up making significantly less money per sale, even though the customer is paying more. Stick to the bracket.
Now, Amazon isn't the only game in town. It's fantastic for passive discovery, for sure, because of that massive built-in audience. But if you have your own audience, maybe a blog or a social media following, selling directly through platforms like Gumroad or Payhip is incredibly powerful. You keep over 90% of the sale there. And because your audience is targeted, niche how-to guides can easily sell for $17 to $27. Using Amazon for discovery and direct sales for high margins, that's a brilliant combo.
Finally, let's hit Section 4, Realistic Income Expectations, and break down the actual math.
Let's ground this in reality and go back to that $7 margin we talked about at the very beginning. If you get just 10 sales a month, that's $70. Hey, it pays a utility bill. Hit 50 sales a month, you're at $350. But when you hit 150 sales a month, you break that psychological barrier of $1,000, bringing in $1,050 in purely passive income.
I know, 150 sales a month might sound a bit intimidating if you've never sold anything online. But let's contextualize this. We are talking about a global marketplace of millions of readers. 150 sales a month is literally just 5 sales a day. With good SEO, a bold Canva cover, and a few positive reviews, getting 5 people out of millions to buy your solution every day, that is highly achievable. Let's move to and see how this builds over time. You hit that $1,050 mark with one successful book. But you don't have to stop there. Once it's published, it stays live forever. So you write a second book, and a third. If you have 3 books, each making a super modest $350 a month, you've hit that $1,050 passive income goal again, but now you have a diversified portfolio. The effort you put in today literally compounds month after month.
The tools are free, the distribution is global, and the blueprint is right here in front of you. The only thing standing between you and a published digital asset is execution. So what problem are you uniquely positioned to solve? What is your first profitable niche? Identify it today, go validate it on Amazon, and start building. Every single day you wait is a day of passive income left on the table. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.